was just nothing coming from his end, not involved with kids. I was just doing everything on my own. He was very controlling to the point where we have a kitchen counter, everything had to be clean, and I wasn't allowed to even have like a teapot. If I ever was short on money, that's it, divorce, you're not managing money well. One time he actually said to me, which was like a knife in the heart, your parents cannot come here because it's not your house, you didn't pay for it. And I felt at that point was like, that's it, you know, this person is not my husband, he's not a father to my children. I keep carrying on and on like that until I came to him and I discussed this with him, and he said, you know what, let's get divorced and we might get married if things come around. I thought it was crazy. This place kept me going because I really enjoyed working for Gerry. He is just like a father to all of us.
As an employer, you're very careful. You don't want to overstep your bounds, but when you see somebody who's clearly in pain, as a friend and an employer, you want to do what you can to help that person. She was losing weight, tough for her to focus on her job, and she'd previously been a very, very good, diligent employee. It was all clear to me and to other members of our staff that she had a troubled situation at home. She came to me and I was able to recognize the signs of this type of emotional abuse from our exposure to Hope's Door and the training that Penny had gotten over the years. You know, when she came to me, it was clear that she was a victim.
And I went to Gerry's office, closed the door, and I started just crying so hard. He said, we'll get through it together. At some point you have to think what is fair for you long term. It was unbelievable. It was like in a movie. So it is behind me, and I am better. I'm happier. I found a strength within myself. I had support from Gerry. I had support from my parents. It is possible to be happy after the cloud goes away.
Penny was a yoga student of mine, and we had spent time together at a yoga festival in Vermont where we got very close. And that's where I opened up to Penny and spoke to her about what we were going through and how much Hope's Door was helping me and my hesitations. And that's when she, recommended the teen program for my daughter. And that's when I felt confident to bring my daughter to Hope's Door. Counseling gave my daughter a lot of clarity for her to understand that she's not a victim. Hope's Door helped us both stay positive, and all that positivity always helps foster a deeper relationship.
When you have a young daughter, a teenage daughter, something from mom is one thing or from the family, but that her daughter really could benefit from having someone give her the tools to navigate a relationship, to try to rebuild a relationship with her father. So I was pleased to know that she did pursue getting counseling for her daughter and that her daughter has been able to make some progress with her father.
I was president in 1993, and we had committed to the issue of domestic violence as a junior league, and we set about kind of researching where we could make the biggest difference as a group of committed women volunteers. We found our niche, which was teen violence prevention.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and when you're educated about it, you see the beginnings of it in other situations. Exactly. I remember as a provisional when the idea came forward, you were a little bit nervous because you hadn't volunteered before.
Mm-hmm. Going into high schools early in the morning, speaking to health classes and engaging the students, and having young men and young women in the room talking about some of these issues, about not only dating violence and unhealthy, but about healthy relationships. How does one build a healthy relationship?
I agree, but I think that in the last 25 years, the interesting thing that keeps changing and evolving is how young people deal with their relationships within this kind of context of social media. You have a relationship in person, a relationship online. You know, very different behavior sometimes exists in both those realms. And this is very, very important for young people to understand.
Prevention is always the way to go, and here Hope Store still goes in and trains and works with young people to train other young people. I love that part. The STAR
right.
and the teen symposiums.
And seeing over the ensuing years how it grew and how now today it's an established part of the high school curriculum, it's really rewarding. We really have made a difference in this issue. And
really a lot of pride.
I feel a lot of pride over it too.
I remember, unfortunately, learning about the domestic violence so much more through the training that you had, and you would come back from the training and the classes and tell us stories about what you'd learned and how you'd been trained. And
I'm sure I practiced on you because it was daunting to go into
you did.
these schools.
You did.
And talk about the cycle of violence and talk about the thought that a man or a woman could think, I don't want to go home because home is not a place where it's peaceful and where I'm comfortable and safe, really struck a chord with both of us, I think. And that's why for over 20 years we've been supporting Hope Store, because we think it's really important.
Jen worked at the shelter when she was in high school. I remember she volunteered one summer. When she wanted to have a Sweet 16 party, we did it on one condition, that she do it as a fundraiser for a non-for-profit, and she chose Hope Store.
We are coming together about something that we hope will not have to be a forever charity or an event, that the violence in people's lives will end, but at the same time to get together and to celebrate also that folks have moved forward because of Hope Store and all that they do to educate and to help people out of these situations.
Yeah. It's a shame that Hope Store has to exist, but thank God it does.
Thank you, Gerry and Penny, for the people that you are, and you will be in my heart forever.